of the United States is a coward who is Vladimir Putin's puppet. And the Vice President of the United States is a pogue and a coward who is Donald Trump's puppet. And so what we just witnessed was a meeting in the Oval Office between two cowardly puppets and a hero. And whether you voted for these puppets or not, just as an American, as a fellow American, it's just embarrassing that the only hero in the Oval Office, the only decent human being for that matter, is the Ukrainian. I mean, this administration is going to go down as an embarrassment to American history.
Congressman, I wonder if you think that President Zelensky could have handled it differently, the way that some of his European counterparts and Emmanuel Macron and Keir Starmer did, and perhaps been more deferential to Trump and Vance.
Deferential to what? Deferential to a president who allowed a deal in his first term to crumble because Putin just violated it? Deferential to a vice president who didn't even bother to visit Ukraine? I hardly know anyone in Congress.
Don Bacon calling it, quote, a bad day for America's foreign policy. That's a Republican. Joining me now, Illinois Democratic Congressman Mike Quigley. Congressman, do you agree with your Republican counterpart?
Well, you know, I do. This is the Trump-Vance clown show, and it's horrifying. We are fundamentally a different country than what we were just weeks ago, to our friends and foes alike, and we are fundamentally less safe. I have to say, the thing that struck me first and foremost was saying that they were ungrateful. I met with Ukrainian military officials yesterday. I met members of the Rada and their military. I've met President Zelensky 7 times since the war started. Every meeting with them here and in Ukraine began with their extraordinary gratitude of what the United States has done to help. And they continue to do that. And when I compare the president talking about Zelensky not being legitimate.
You are co-chair of the House Ukrainian Caucus. And I wonder what kind of conversations you have now and what this means, you think, for U.S. foreign policy and for our relationship with our allies?
I don't know if we have allies anymore. And that would have sounded hyperbolic just a little while ago. But we're putting tariffs on our closest, most important trade partners. We're telling NATO that it's on its own. We're telling the country that's involved with the greatest land war since the Second World War that we have been supporting for all the reasons we fought the Second World War, that they're on their own and we're extorting them for the second time in Trump time as president. So that's why I said I think we're less safe. It again goes back to the history. Presidents who have done the right thing since these have become an issue in the last century have all spoken eloquently in the opposite direction. FDR in his last inaugural said, "We have learned that we are dependent on the safety of other countries far away for our own welfare."
So that was then, and now this is today. Carl, what was your read on what you watched on TV for the past 30 minutes?
Well, this is why diplomacy should never be conducted in public. I'm confident, and we now know that, for example, in World War II, there were heated disagreements between Franklin Roosevelt, Joseph Stalin, and Winston Churchill, but we didn't see them broadcast on TV, and what we saw were statements that came out of these big conferences in which the Allies made an effort to move forward together. It is going to be incredibly hard to walk back from the kind of animosity that we saw in that room today, and to walk back some of those statements. It could have been done if it had not been, if cameras had not been running. But the only winner out of today is Vladimir Putin. This is a mistake to have it broadcast. It was a mistake for Zelensky to get his dander up, and it was a mistake for the president and the vice president to be so public in their in their comments. This
State for public diplomacy and public affairs under President Obama. He is also an MSNBC political analyst and former U.S. ambassador to Russia. Michael McFaul, I have to start with you, Mr. Ambassador, because I certainly have never seen anything like what we just watched unfold between the President of the United States and the leader of another country. Give me your take on what we've just witnessed.
We're on live TV, so I'm not going to speak in terms that I would speak if we were off the air, but this was horrific. This was a tragedy, and a tragedy for American national security interests. I want to really emphasize that. This does nobody any good. This doesn't make the American people better off tomorrow. The senator, now Vice President Vance, pleading for the leader of a country to pledge his fealty to President Trump and say thank you. I want to remind your viewers, President Zelensky said thank you to the American people 1,000 times. Use ChatGPT, Mr. Vice President, and look for it. And by the way, Senator Vance voted against that aid to Ukraine. So the paradox of that, it just was shocking to me. And they need to sign this deal. This deal was good for the United States, was good for Ukraine. And instead of signing that deal, we were relitigating Biden and Obama. And I just wish the president would put our interests today front and center and stop litigating what happened in 2016 or before, because that is not in America's national interest.
Rick Stengel, not only did he talk about what he thought, what President Trump says is the problems that were caused by both President Obama and President Biden, but
This is the man Trump just put in chain of FBI, and I know finishing how putting an unhinged is because he blocked me on Twitter for absolutely no reason. Never tweet and him never follow, him never even mentioned his name. Yet somehow he's such guy say my account and decision knob cannot handle it. What's the plan? I political poked. And just taking over FBI, they have on call. This is short, they openly side. This is what they want. Now he running it. This is far more dangerous than Trump and Musk other power, because these honor men have power to refuse investigation, broadcast the authorized along political FBI takeover is her, and on Sunday night Donald Trump took social media, make Jay's drop accountment, Foxman host, failed NRD TV personality, and full-time successional broadcast is being nominated as default to FBI. You read her economy of our country while to Trump when being qualified include yelling about owning the lies on Twitter, and his boss Clash Battle confirmed just the age a man with zero FBI experience and the cleaning agent to the weaponized the ignore for Trump. Nothing of these men and real experience FBI. This is not joke, this a cup. Who is the diagnosed and walking reflect. Let's be breakdown to FP experience. He was political service agent as the real probe actioning 2018 by enter life rights order. 2023 the FBI on longer law economy opinion research him fired Democrat already political economy banker. 2024 after Trump conversation he need playback to total war. They were to influence his jacked by the extreme word the personal remains caught after influence something hope this is only bug. If you already subscribe this channel, we expose the movie signal day and if you want to update, follow me social media links on description. Stay ignored there. The vision keeping and agent wildest.